The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 4. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of courageous women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Want to learn how you can change your inner beliefs and attitudes? Download a free copy of the ebook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. My name is Sheena Yap Chan, and today we have an amazing guest on today. Now, she is a director and a producer, and now she can add author to that list. Funny thing, we actually met through writing this book that we've been doing, right? It's going to be about sharing stories as well and inspiring women. It's going to be coming out in November of 2015. It's actually called The Anthology, and we connected through this book because I think there's about over 20 women who's sharing their stories, helping women out there just live the life that they want. And that's always been what I've wanted, right? To help women just get out of their comfort zone, get out of that, get out of their shell, break away from that, build their self-confidence so they can start doing the things that they love. And, our guest today has done the same thing. Her name is Yvette Bennett. And Yvette, I just want to thank you for coming into the show. And maybe you can, talk to the listeners and let them know a little bit about yourself in case I missed out on anything.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I am a producer, writer, and director. Now adding author to the list. I work in independent film. I also currently work for Universal Pictures in Los Angeles as an asset manager on their films that they shoot on the East Coast. I'm excited to be a part of this anthology and bringing our stories to life to help empower and inspire many other women who have gone through things that we have been through or may go through things that we have been through, so they can see that they're not alone and that we can overcome anything when we put our mind to it.
That's so true, right? And I always believe if it's possible in the world, it's possible for you. So I'm just going to ask you some questions. And to start with, what's your cultural background? You can just share with the listeners.
Okay, I'm a Black American woman who studies humanistic philosophy of the Nichiren Buddhism, actually.
Oh, wow, I've never even heard of that. Sorry, I can't even pronounce that name. I'm so sorry.
Yep. I started studying Buddhism. I was introduced to it by a friend in 2011, and it has made a world of difference in my life. And making me a better person and putting me on a better journey and just being more positive about life in general.
That's awesome. So what would be your favorite self-confident quote?
I have many. At one time, I had a lot of Post-it notes all around my house just to keep me inspired and motivated. But a couple of the ones that I use most often are, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. We have a habit as humans to look at how other people are advancing or the success they may be having. And because things are not moving as quickly for us, we kind of get mired down by what's not happening when we should be happy that we are making progress. And what's for us will be for us, and it will come when it's supposed to come. And another quote is, never give up on a dream because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time passes anyway, so never give up. Always keep pushing forward and striving for the best.
I love that first one. I've never even heard that one. Don't compare chapter 1 to chapter 20, because it's so true. We have this mindset that, just because that person's doing better and you're basing your results on that person, but you never knew what her story was or what they had to go through. And, you guys are on different journeys, right? So you have to realize your journey isn't the same as the person in chapter 20. And, you have your own journey and you are there for a reason. You're where you are supposed to be because maybe something else will happen that's magical. So I really love that quote. So thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what would be your definition of self-confidence?
I believe self-confidence for me would be to always believe in yourself, always, even when you think no one else does. Knowing that you're worthy of everything, even when others try to make you feel that you aren't, or maybe you think others are trying to make you feel that way. It just could be some type of self-block you're having for yourself. Being able to love yourself in the midst of the sunshine and the storms in your life. Just always believing in the impossible, because anything you can think of is not impossible. It's actually very possible. So I think self-confidence is just really believing in yourself and knowing that you are worthy of any desire that you have.
Thank you so much. And I love that, right? To all the listeners out there, you are worthy. Just remember that you can do whatever you want. And I always believe it too. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, right? Whatever you can put into your head, it can come to life. So thank you so much, Yvette. Now, I just wanted to ask you, what was your life before when you didn't have this discovery of self-confidence?
I spent a lot of time trying to make people like or love me. I wanted to be everyone's friend. I thought I had more friends than I had when I was always the one always giving, and thought my life would be better if I had all of these people in my life. Because to me, I thought that meant I was worth something if I had a lot of people that were in my corner or in my life, and that my life would be happier. And you have to be happy with yourself is what I ended up learning, instead of expecting everyone else to bring that to your life. And it was a long journey for me to get past that.
What was like the aha moment when you realized that you had to love yourself instead of pleasing everybody, trying to have everybody like you?
It slowly began in my late 30s, around 2006, when I began to realize that I was giving more of myself than I was receiving from other people. I always gave. I had friends all over the world, and I would go out of my way to do things for them or stay in touch with them or always be a part of their life, but I didn't feel like it was being reciprocated. So once my friend who introduced me to Buddhism brought that into my life, I started spending more time alone. And I turned my cell phone off for a year. I just got into studying Buddhism and learning to chant and learning to meditate. And it just made me start to see things differently and know that I was worthy of so much more, and that I only wanted to have people around me who were positive and inspiring and uplifting and motivating and moving in the same direction that I was. So that was Buddhism actually was my aha moment for me when I started to study. And once I spent that year kind of in solitude, I turned my cell phone back on after that year. I deleted anyone out of my phone who I knew wouldn't be a positive influence in my life, even family members. It wasn't just friends, it was family members too, because I was on a different journey and I had become a new person, and I wanted nothing but greatness around me. So that's what I surround myself with now.
That is an amazing story, just getting into Buddhism and not turning off your phone for a whole year.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was worth it.
Most people nowadays can't even have 1 minute off from their phones, right? And for you to do a whole year, I mean, that's a success on its own. And you're so right when it comes to sometimes, taking out the people out of your life. It's not that you're telling them go away, I don't want to talk to you anymore, but sometimes you just gotta step away from the people that are giving you a negative influence, right? And sometimes it has to be family. I mean, I've had family members that I had to just block out of my life, right? Because they're just giving this negative energy, and that's not what you want, right? Because you have to attract the things that you like, that you want. If it's success, gotta surround yourself with success, right? Like our book that's coming out, we all have different stories, but we all have, like minds, right? We all want to inspire women, empower women to do great things. And I'm pretty excited for this book. I don't know if you are.
I am.
I mean, it's my first time writing a book, so I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It's very exciting, and I can't wait until it's out, and I can just only imagine the lives that we're going to change with this book.
Me too. I mean, it's going to be very exciting. Another new chapter in the journey. So, what's your life like now after discovering Buddhism, doing being able to just have this journey to yourself, right? You said you kind of blocked out a lot of things in your life. What's your life like now after that discovery?
It's so much better. In the beginning, I purged everything. I used to have so many clothes and so many designer shoes and designer bags, and my life, I valued myself based on material things. And once I went through that year of solitude, I purged. I have a friend that runs a homeless shelter for women that were involved in domestic abuse. I packed up every piece of clothing that I didn't need, and I gave it to the shelter. All of my bags, I had a huge yard sale. I sold everything for next to nothing. And my friends thought I was crazy, but I felt free. Once I let all of that stuff go, I felt free. And I finally had peace for the first time in my life. And after I did that, it's like all kind of doors started opening for me. Wonderful people started to come into my life. I got my job with Universal, and I hadn't even applied for a job. Someone referred me, and I was amazed and I was grateful. I have a friend who's a writer. Her name is Rhonda Baraka, and she referred me for that job. And life has just been on an upswing ever since. Ever since. And I've been happier than I've ever been. I have more positivity in my life. I see every day differently, and I use every day, every single day of my life to try to inspire people. Even if I only reach one person, I've done my job, because I want to make sure that people don't feel, or I want to help people who may have been going through what I went through or felt how I did, and show them that there's another way to be. You know, when you change your mind, you change your life. And so I spend my days trying to help anyone that I can.
That is amazing story that you had there, an amazing part. I mean, you know, I did the same thing that you did. It's so funny. I sold like everything too. All my clothes, you know, everything that I had. And yeah, that feeling, I can.
Isn't it freeing?
It's totally freeing. Like, you know, not having so much material things in your life. It's just this weight off of you. And then you can do so many things like travel the world and not have to worry about like certain bills and certain things to pay for. I mean, I just gave everything away as well. I mean, I just went to like Salvation Army and I just dropped everything that I ever owned. Like sometimes people need to realize, you know, they have a lot of things in their house or in their storage room that they don't use anymore, and that actually can bring you down, because you're holding so much weight inside from the past that when you can let it go and just give it away, you end up bringing in more new things into your life. Kind of like Yvette, you know, when she got rid of all her stuff, she got a job with Universal. I mean, I'm sure working for Universal is probably such a like an exciting experience, right?
It is. And I feel like I won the lottery every day. I love my job. I love what I do. I love it. And there's nothing better. And that's my passion. Filmmaking is my passion. Writing is my passion. There's nothing better than being able to live in your passion.
I love it. I mean, not too many people in this world love what they do, right? Mm-hmm. And you were able to find something that just actually came to you. You didn't even go search for it, which is even better.
Yes.
You know, the God or the universe, whoever you believe in, works in mysterious ways, but for the good, right? And I just have a couple more questions for you. For the woman listening to this interview, right? If there was one piece of advice that you can give her in her own inner journey of self-confidence, what's that one tip you would give her? What's that one piece of advice that you would give to her that can give her her own aha moment to be like, yes, it's because of Yvette, I can now change my life. I know what I'm going to do.
Love yourself first and foremost. Love yourself more than anyone else can. Love yourself for everyone that you think should love you. You have got to love yourself more than anything else so you can believe in you, trust in you, and know that you're worthy of every single thing that you desire. Loving yourself is probably the greatest thing a person can do for themselves. Unconditionally love yourself and live with your passion. Whatever makes you happy, do that. I know that everyone can't just quit their job and go do what they love, but start it as a hobby and make sure it's incorporated in your day, every day, because there's nothing better than being able to do what you love all the time or as often as you can. And we all have the ability to do it. You just have to do it. You have to make the decision to do it and just do it. And be someone who uplifts women. A quote that I like is, be a lamp, a light, a lifeboat, or a ladder. Always be someone who brings light to someone's life. You know, you provide an opportunity to uplift them or help them out of the situation that they're in, or just be supportive. Every woman needs someone to look up to or someone to look over to or someone to understand their journey. And sometimes just a listening ear can do that, but be someone who always uplifts other women.
Thank you so much, Yvette. I love that. Love yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with loving yourself, right? Sometimes you got to be a little bit selfish and learn to love yourself first, because you can't give that love to other people if you can't accept yourself for who you are. And I love that. Be the light, be the lamp, be the ladder, right? We are here to inspire you to do great things, do extraordinary things, because we're here only, once in our lifetime. Let's make it count, right, Yvette?
Yes.
And if they want to, reach you or want to contact you, what would be the best way to do that?
They can reach me through imdb.com/Yvette D. Bennett. And I'll send these links to you too. Or they can reach me on Facebook as Yvette D. Bennett, Screenwriter Director. Or they can reach me on Twitter as Yvette D. Bennett.
Awesome. I'm going to be checking out your IMDb for sure. But don't worry, listeners. You can always head over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com to search for Yvette's name with her show notes that will pop up along with everything else we talked about, her links, her story. And, I just want to thank Yvette for taking the time. I'm sure she's a busy woman. So I'm really grateful that she took the time to actually share her story with you. And, when you hear these episodes, make sure you take action, right? When Yvette says start loving yourself, start doing little things for yourself. You have a passion, take baby steps, right?
Exactly.
Baby steps are better than nothing, right? And I always believe that, right? It just starts with one step. So follow her advice, take action on it, because that's how you're going to start changing your life, is the actions you take, the decisions you make, and committing to those decisions. So again, Yvette, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so honored to have you here. And for the listeners out there, tune in for another episode, and I will catch you later. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetaoofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about today, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more. Subscribe to The Tao of Self-Confidence on iTunes or Stitcher to hear more stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence.